Hello, how you doing? Hope you have having a good day. Um, I'm going to kind of make a video. Just probably upload this and probably sometime tomorrow. Maybe next couple of days. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Um, I want to dedicate this video to people like myself who have a good heart, who have who live righteously, who have a connection, a relationship with God, and those who you just you signal out, you stand out because you don't do what people around you do, no matter if they're relatives in your people that you know, whether they are in the church, whether they're in your home, whether in your neighborhood, whether they're around you. One thing I got to realize, God, the Most High God, has people from all walks of life. And another thing I realized is that it ain't just a certain demographic of people. We have a tendency to think, like, for example, all people who have money and education that don't have a heart, and we think that the poor, some people do. That's not always the case. Everything depends on the individual and what kind of personality got they got. What I found out about people who do people really wrong, they take advantage of people. There's people around in a narcissistic ways. I learned one thing in this life, how people who have a blessing and don't know when they have favor with God, they don't recognize it. They don't see the kindness of people, which most people wouldn't step out their way and extend the kindness. And this week things like this made me mad. Why is it that the people who always do the good, from all walks of life and all, whether in your family, your friends, they always get set up and used? Why they always get played to? And then when you see people around you that they're users, they're manipulators, they're cunning, they're crafty, and they're comfortable with it. And sometimes we have it in our family. Sometimes we have so-called people that we consider associates. Sometimes they could be your neighbors. Sometimes they could probably be your co-workers. But I say to myself, this is a cold-ass world. And thank God that God has people in this world that have a light. Thank God for people that they do things by their heart. But one thing that makes me mad about some people is that they know and they're comfortable with. It's not that some people don't know when they're manipulating people, when they're cunning with people, when they're very crafty, and they get so, and they spoil. And they don't appreciate the people, the blessings around them. I've come across individuals during my time living here and other places that they don't understand a good neighbor. They don't appreciate a good friend. And when you try to be that ear, try to be sensible, all they know is garbage. All they know is drama. And it doesn't matter what demographic, whether it might be people who have money, but sometimes it could be anybody in between. Some people with the least have, it's just a spoil, is somebody with the most. Because when people with the least have something, they have other people they give them, they coddle with. When they have the least of things, and you like, man, they just about as worse than somebody who are born with a silver spoon in their mouth. They don't appreciate God's people. They don't appreciate righteous people who don't come to spread no gossip, who come to spread no harm, who actually live life on a good turn, non-chaotic, non-toxicity. And it's a mess, man. It's a mess. I give you a little point about myself. I witnessed this throughout my life. I was with my mother, you know, like I probably mentioned this in one video, how my ex-stepdad that she met back in 1990 in the late 80s, but he didn't get parole till like 93 and 94. And you know how some people that you think when they've been locked up for a while that something might change. You figure people like that, but the very thing that one of the things they did got him locked up and trying to live that street life. And he lived the street life all the way up until in his mid to late 60s. He tried shooting up in his arms. You know, trying, you know, do things on the corner. Have living children across the country. And really never really was in their life prior to it. But his children loved him though. But he wasn't really in their life. He's too busy hustling in the streets, trying to be that dude. This is why I know this stuff from firsthand. And my mother, being the person that she worked for 30, 40 years, at, you know, in a factory, and I don't understand, you know, at the time I couldn't figure out why did she pick this man. That this man, it's not so much you can't count a man, because any man, or it could be woman, can make a mistake. But some people, when they come out of the joint, as they speak, they return back to their old ways. They're not trying to improve their life. They're not trying to go to church. They're not trying to get nothing. In fact, they pick up the same habit that they were doing. So it's a shame. Like, even after you figured that all that time being locked up, but when he got out, he started trying to, and you got these old, you know, dudes practically senior citizens hanging out and doing things that they picked up when they were 20 and 30 years old. This is, I mean, hanging out and talking about the good old days, and now most of his friends and himself are no longer here. They have lost limbs. Their health went bad, just like his health went bad. And my mother would want him to stop, but he just, you know, he had that hood ninja in him. He had to be so prideful. And finally, until he had a stroke. And before he had a stroke and then a heart attack, he had a leg amputation, lost a foot, lost a leg. Had to be bedridden. I don't understand what some of these, you know, people out here that live the streets. I had cousins that drunk. They were alcoholics. They're no longer here. They ran the street. They did the hood ninja life in the 60s and the 70s. You know, a couple of them worked, but they drank. They didn't take care of themselves. And even though that we all at some point going to leave this world, but don't let something like your habit like that cause you in the streets to take you out. Alcohol, excessive alcohol, excessive use of drugs is going to take you out eventually. My sister, like I mentioned in this video, I didn't know that alcohol, when a person continuously drink and drink and drink, affects the memory. And she said, and she told me this, and she found about that from a doctor, that alcohol speeds up dementia. So people who are heavy drinkers, at one point, they're slurring. It slows down their speech and everything, and their memory. We knew, and we knew he knew a family member that he did drugs for 40 years. Till last couple of years ago, he had a stroke. Guess what happened? Trying to be a hood ninja. All this is paralyzed. His right side is paralyzed. He hustled. Got beat up by some people. Robbed, beat up, shot, got his house shot at. Still don't understand this. Put his mother through heck. And she would give him money whenever he wanted. Just give him money for anything. One time he took something out of grandmother's house when she was living. And my sister went to go confront him. They got into a physical altercation. Being a hood ninja. Being a stubborn hood ninja. This is why I know, this is why, when people think, when they would look at me, someone that got that narcissistic, you ain't a ninja like me. No, I'm not a ninja like you. Because I've been around people like you. And it's never a good ending. And it's never an ending to think that as black men, that's you have a segment of black men that think like that. It's the truth. The one guy called the ghetto, that's part of the ghetto life. That's the part of the ghetto culture. Some people are that's the ghetto culture right there. And it's toxicity, and that's what I seen. When my stepdad was alive, he would have the boy come in the back door and drop off his stuff. Then him and sometimes his one friend, childhood friend, they would go in the bathroom, sit there for hours, and shoot up. And that's why he ended up in the bed wreck, doing drugs. Yeah, this is a true story. When I moved to Cincinnati, then my mother, God, I love her, man, but she just, her and him would go move. They move up to Cincinnati, they move up around Youngstown. They move down to Cincinnati, did it 3 or 4 times. It's just crazy. It's like, why do you got to keep on moving? Stay. You're getting up to a certain point. You need to stay and have to waste money, get a car, get a new apartment, waste the money trying to keep up with the Joneses. And it was just, I just want to get this off my chest. This is what I've been through. And that's what I saw. And I've witnessed it. I have witnessed these things. My mom has a brother, and I don't understand my uncle, man. He's almost 70 years old. I know there's things that went on in our family. There's some people in my extended family that really never really accepted me. I do talk to my aunts and stuff like that. I understand my aunts because the things he's still thinking, and I think that he's going through why his sister never showed any love about keep staying connected with him. And she sees maybe because he haven't really changed. And so I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. But one minute, he gave his life to God at one point. And there's only reason why he's still living because of God, because this man lived in Atlantic City, he lived in Atlantic, Georgia, he lived in San Antonio, Texas, he lived here in Columbus, Ohio, and he's a veteran, so he's been on the road But the last time I talked to him a couple of years ago, I was like, "Hey man, it's time to settle down. You know, this life you living. It's good. It's like at one point, I thought he was so sound that he was doing good, that he was trying to get his life right. He was talking to some girl in the Philippines. She was trying to minister to him. I don't know who. I never got a chance to. What he talking about? He was even talking about going over there. But it's just that I don't know. For some of the last couple of years, I don't know. He had a setback, and he's back on the streets down there in Houston, Texas, somewhere. And I just don't understand. Like, he's been beat up, he's been robbed. Probably had a gun put on him a couple of times. Like, what is it? Is it that And it's the hand of God, because some people don't survive stuff like this. Just like what cousin, because they call cousin Mike. This man had been robbed, but unlike Mike, my uncle still ain't had a stroke yet. Unlike Mike, he ain't living he's living in a homeless shelter. But at some point, luckily about him being a veteran, that they would help him. But I don't understand why the stubbornness that we have as black men, some of us black men. Why we gotta be so hard? You know what I'm saying? And we have so many blessings around us. And even though I know a lot of people don't care, but hey, man, the main thing about it, if the Most High God cares, that's all what matters to me. I used to, go through a point in time in life and wonder why people didn't like me, because the way I looked, and I went through this stuff, and it's to the point, and even though I tried and past make friends with people, and I just got tired, get fed up to the point that it's like, hey, it is what it is. It ain't meant for you to be around everybody. Some people, if they're in your life, and you're never going to see them in life. And just take that from experiences. And some people don't appreciate your nature, your love, your kindness, your goodness of you. And I'm to the point, being in my 50s and stuff like that, I really, 6 years ago, I stopped giving a darn. I start worrying about what people think and trying to please people, and my mother, because I think I get that off my mother. What's the songs? Who cares what songs will say? Do they pay your bills? Are they taking care of you? I don't care what people make no more. I had people talk about me all my life, have said the most cruelest things, rudest things behind my back. Later got in my face. I used to take it. It used to hurt my feelings. Now it don't, because I come to find out that God picked me. See, sometimes He picked the most rejected, deceptive of people when other people rejected. And sometimes I think He preserved me and other people like us, because you got some low down scoundrels people, and it seemed like the good people who had the righteousness and love and don't have that pettiness, they always seem like God takes them off the earth and leave these fools down here that we gotta deal with. We gotta deal with all these. Why is that, man? I just want to talk to you people for a minute. Hopefully, I don't know if it's gonna get any views, but why is that? Why is that we gotta deal with? Sometimes I ask myself, why we gotta deal with these doggone people down here? They like being the devil. They're comfortable in their own thing. And it's like, do we have to really? And if you're a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, do we have to pray for these? Sometimes you don't feel like you want to pray for these people, and it's like they know what they're doing. They've been confronted about their actions and everything, and they don't care. They do not care. They just stubborn until something really happened. Does it take to something to put you in on your deathbed or something to kind of wake you up. I don't know. It's just crazy. But this is the kind of life I've seen. People look at me and wouldn't, when you would meet me, you would think I've encountered this. I've encountered these people, and when you're a good person and you live in a certain demographic and income area, you come across every single devil that has come upon you. You'd be surprised just by being a good natured, kind, listening person, what you would hear from people. It's just what kind of people is out here, man? And you just shake your head. And I was the kind of person, in my own way, talk with people. Sound like you almost like trying to be like a counselor in some ways, just to be that ear. But it's to the point. I'm at a point I can't stand stupidness, and especially if someone is entertaining ignorance all the time. I had to, stop talking to certain people that's close by with me because they were just being stupid. They don't bring nothing positive to the table. It's always drama, chaotic. Even out here where I live at, you try to be that neighbor, man, and people don't appreciate. You can't live around people that don't know how to be a neighbor. It's the truth. And as I see why most people keep them. I used to wonder when I was younger why some people keep to themselves, why they never speak to people. Now I see why. I see why some people reserve. They be like, "Hi, how you doing?" And they go on. They duck here because people is a mess, especially when they don't have nothing productive to do. When they're not working. When they have too much time on their hands and being other folks' business. Oh yeah, when you around people who have a that don't work, as in a low income community, this is what they do. They don't get out and go walk around the park or nothing. They smoke. They do something all day, smoke and drink all day, and wait for someone to carry some gossip with them. Not everybody, but some not everybody's in low income that don't do that, but some people, they stay home. The ones you see that stay home all day long and they don't do nothing productive, wasting their life away. And those of you who live in income in communities like that, you ever notice that they live in, you go to work or you go out for the day, you come back, they still in there. It's like, dang. That's got to be a miserable life, man. And I thank God that I got out and see some things in life outside my neighborhood. Because you live someplace, I don't dwell in a place and just stay around and just wasting life away. Because mentally, that's not good for you. For one thing, you should go to the park or go see something. Go to the beach or park or something. Go do something. But you got some people, and I've seen it. I've seen it here, and I've seen it up north, where I used to live at. It was people up north. The last apartment, they were doing the same thing. They were and it was more people because it was so much drama. You hear somebody fighting, arguing with their significant other or with a friend. You got some people breaking in your car. You got some people, you leave your apartment, they trying to break in your apartment. Just chaotic all the way around. Or someone arguing with somebody over some stuff that they did. And it's really sad that people get up in age and they still doing this. You think that when they in their 20s, you say, well, they just young. They in their 20s, maybe 30. But man, you get some people in their 40s and 50s and 60s still clowning. It's crazy. I mean, people still clowning. They don't have no doggone life. I mean, it's just really, it's really something. Had a couple of neighbors. One got put out. The other one about to get put out over over some unnecessary stuff. And these people don't, they bring drama where they live at. They don't appreciate the blessing that it takes a while for to get housing. And a lot of times I find out people mess it up, doing dumb stuff. This woman, we got put out recently. I'm not gonna mention her name. She had everybody and homeless people coming over. She got into an argument with her boyfriend one time. I found out later on, come back here, that she been arrested, thrown in jail because they had a mark on his head. She have done everything she's been here for over close to 15 years. Now, mind you, this place is hard to get in. It's a waiting list. And it's simple. Just you live by the rules. They're not really on you. My last apartment, if you had a car, you had to get it registered. If it's set there and it's not registered, they put a ticket on your car. They think it's abandoned. If you bring golf carts and leave them on the property, they see that you do it, they're gonna fine you. If you park your car a certain way, they would come out and put a note on your car. That's just the one thing. That's not including when they come and check. Your property got to be spotless when they come and inspect it and all that stuff like that. Make sure everything clean out, because they really going on through it. They don't know how, and it's how blessed they had it. Then you had people. Like break-ins is everywhere. Some people breaking in people's cars. That's just here anywhere. But that's one of the things. Then you just had people were just chaotic. And so for me to come from that place to this place was a blessing. Plus they take care of the utilities. All you gotta do is pay the rent. How many places that's still gonna take care of utilities? Yeah. And you get put out of a place acting a fool. Just all you had to do, all the rules. And this particular people that own the company that run it, the people that run it, they do this for people here. If like you first move here, they help you get a voucher, get you some new furniture, get you some furniture basically. It's something that like Big Lots is one of the big companies. Sometimes when Big Lots don't sell their stuff, they take it to this one other secondary company, and it's some real nice stuff here. I got a few things, and it's a start off. But we had this one neighbor. She's here. The woman that's in charge over it, she's her responsibility is to kind of make sure that everybody's okay, give them information if they need it, if they need any help or things like that. But this one particular person, she gets the furniture, right? She meets up to the place, right? Now, mind you, this complex give her a voucher and say pick any furniture you want. So she picks out the furniture. A week later, she gets real nitpicky about, well, she's trying to put some money in stuff so she gets something new. Mind you, there's people out there will love to have something like that when you first move in your place for the very first time. This is how ungrateful some people are. Like, are you serious? You got this one neighbor. She, every once in a while, this one woman was working here. She would give gift baskets. He has to say, hey, like a welcoming basket or something like that. And, bring cookies and things like that and things. Now, that's just a gift. This one neighbor, after she didn't do it a couple of times, this person went back and told the doggone, called down to the doggone office on the woman. Ungrateful people, man. I mean, someone do something for me, I'm grateful. You know, I mean, because favor ain't fair in this world. if you don't have favor with God, it's a cold ass world. People don't just do something like this. Even if that's part of the job, they wouldn't. They're not gonna go out and above. You got some people that you probably go to, that I've gone to church wouldn't do with some of the things that they would do. And that's the truth. It ain't supposed to be of the Lord. But they ain't got time. And if they did, they probably wouldn't help you, wouldn't want to make time to help you. I'm just the ungratefulness of people. I was talking to my friend about this. And people are spoiled. And you can't give, and one thing about it, certain people, I see why God can give everything we want with certain people. You can't give everybody money, because some people, money would take them down. They don't know, they don't have the maturity. And particularly, I can have neighbors here that if you would put a half of me, they would smoke it up and crack it up. They wouldn't know what to do with it. And there's other people that know that, and I see why some people, you know, when it comes to stewardship, when it comes to money, you can't give everybody money, because some people like myself would be grateful and would do the right thing, but you got some people will get you will spoil them, and that's why I see why some people have to struggle, or they have to be put at a limitation, because people don't appreciate things. They don't appreciate, you know, when you give them rides and you don't charge them anything. They'll take advantage of it. They'll take advantage of your kindness. And sometimes I understand why some people gotta back away. And as I get older, I see why I don't stand myself. Because you see some people, when you hear what their nature, how cold they are, and then you have the people that if they do something for you, they'll gossip right behind your back. And this is what I've encountered. So sometimes, to the people out there that come at people like us, just because we nice, don't get it twisted. We've been through some stuff. Good people, nice people go through the most horrific thing. Maybe they're not very confrontational and ready to cut you up and cuss you out, but they're tired. You know, they're fed up. And some people never grew up. Some people don't know that when they're blessed, they don't appreciate nothing. They don't appreciate the blessing, because I've seen enough. I've seen people out here that wish they had a blessing. When I used to go with my mentor out there on the streets, I would see how people didn't have anything, they don't have a family, they don't have friends, they don't have loved ones. I have been in nursing homes. I've seen this. People leave you in there to die, and the only people you know is the staff. And it's alone, and they're alone. I've seen these things. I've seen some things that, wow, new people. And it's some things that make you cry, because you hear about stories, someone that they was a good person, and all of a sudden they found this person dead. People don't know how blessed that they got it. They really don't know how blessed they have someone to care about them, check on them. I appreciate people in my life. Any little people, I appreciate in my life. Anybody do me a favor, I'm the most grateful, humble person, because when you see how cold this world is, when you in time, when you weigh and you in a city or a town or maybe in another part of the world, when you by yourself, it's like being out there in the middle of the ocean. You ain't got no one to coddle you. You don't have no brother, no sister. You don't have no friend that's close by. It's just you. You know. Some people who do this stuff, they got people. It's the craziest thing. They got people around them, and they still act spoiled. They got people that bring stuff to them, and they still and they spoiled. They don't appreciate nothing. And then like-minded people who are like them, they won't do that too. But it's always the godly people, the good people, they do that too. That relative or that neighbor, they do. They won't pull that stuff on certain people. You know, when you try to show some humility and humbleness, it's crazy how some people take it as weakness. When you try to show that part of you, because that's a part of the nature that God have in you. And you hate to be nasty to people. But it will never get, I will never let this one get on my skin to be nasty at another individual. But it just I understand why people stay alone. They stay reserved. They do not want to be bothered. Sometimes some people don't want to say hi. You know, I've seen it in the church. I've seen people act like you think that they would have to be more mature in church. Some people not like they don't even want to. They say, you know, greet each other. They don't even want to say hi to you. They don't want to greet. They ignore you. And you've been going to church for a while. Not for the first time you get there. You've been going there for a while. So when you first got there, they kind of put on the face, and after a while, it's like you see who they really are. And you may not have been a person that would take advantage of gossip or bring strife or division, like myself. But some people, boy, it's something. Nice people, godly people, we gotta go through some things. And it hurts, man. It hurts. And it just makes you bitter in ways at times. It's like you don't want to be bothered with people. Because you just see them bothered with people now. But what my barber friend said was very powerful. He said, don't worry about the people like that. Go around the people that celebrate you. That have connected with you, that care about you. And that's the only people I pray and I care about. And I give my time and my energy to, because they got something that is something that keep me motivated going. I mean, it's going to be hard. Sometimes you need, and it gets lonely, you know. For some of us who don't have a spouse or a significant other, it can be lonely. You know, I don't have a girlfriend. One of these days, down the road, I probably have one. But when you know, I have friends, I have family, but they live in a different city, and I can understand. I can understand why some people get depressed, but don't let it rob you of your happiness. You know. You have to kind of treat yourself and spend time loving yourself and valuing yourself. That's the best thing. Because sometimes some people are not worthy of your time. They're not worthy of your effort. And the reason why it's good to talk about God and to his son Yeshua, Jesus Christ, because he's the only one going to love you. Be for real. He's the only one. It may not feel like he's not there, but he's the only one going to be concerned about you, love you, and place people around you that are like-minded. All these other people, no matter how long you've known them, No matter how long the history, no matter if they're your friend, your neighbor, your relative, loved one, at the end of the day, he knows you. He knows you the most. And so I say this. That's the whole lean on him when you have those hard times. When the world has used you, sucked you up, and cast you to the side, lean on him. Because he's the only one. Because I know what it's like to be depressed. I know what it's like to be down. I know what it's like to feel like you're not even to the point. You don't even feel human at times. It's a lonely, lonely journey. And sometimes God has to come in at a certain time and draw you close. Because he understands. He really do. And I thank God for my family members that I do. I thank God for my sister. I thank God for my mother, and a few hand-selected friends. But without them, I wouldn't know. And people don't realize, they don't appreciate the people around them. And when you're going through the hardest trial, it's rough when those people are away, and you in the city, you in the town, you could be in the country by yourself. You don't know if you're going in for the hospital, having some kind of procedure done. You don't know. There's certain things, that go through your mind, and it's the point you gotta lean on God like never before. It takes courage and takes strength. But but my advice is stay away from people that they want to live the hood ninja life. If you're a black person, you know what I'm talking about. Leave them folks alone. If they don't do what they do, leave them alone. And sometimes good people come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Sometimes you think that an area, you might be in a white area. I'm just using that example. And God might have a white person there to help you out and be the answer to your solution. Just because somebody don't look like you don't mean that they always for it. That look like you ain't always for you. He show you the character. Same with relationships, any relationship, friendships, intimacy with a relationship with a significant other. When you selecting somebody, make sure they have the kingdom in them. If they got the self-centered, and he'll show you the signs. The best one to give you the best advice is the Holy Spirit. Once you accept Jesus as your Savior, and receive the Father Spirit, the Holy Spirit gives you more insight than anything. That's how I'm able to have my sanity and survive this long. I give him the glory. Because there's been some dark, lonely roads and times in my life. But I know he has kept that light on for me to go down that dark, lonely road. And I would tell you to stay encouraged. Stay encouraged and hang in there if you're one of those individuals out there. Because it's going to be tough this year. It's going to be tough. And you're going to see people turn on you. No matter how you're gonna think friends is your friends, and people they're good, and I don't care if they're at church, I don't care if they're in your neighborhood, I don't care if they're in your family. This God will show you the deepest thing in the person's heart, and watch their actions, and you won't believe. You be like, I can't believe why this person. No, He's showing you who they really are. It's like He's showing me what people that's around me. It's a shock at first, but oh yeah, what you've seen is real. Those people that they were once cool with you, soon they didn't go a certain direction, they turned. They got nasty. They got self-centered. They got egotistical, combative. That's the truth. So So stay away from people like that. No matter if whatever demographic you live, no matter if you're middle class, lower class, or upper class. Because no matter how much money a person got or what least money they got, it's the heart what tells behind. No matter what their status is, their job status is, their affiliation is, it's the heart that tells. You want to know a person? Watch their actions. Let God show you what their actions is and what's in their heart. And hear what they say. And what they say matches of what their actions is. That's another thing. People are really good with the tongue, but when you sit down and you really look at them, what are their actions telling you? What are their fruit telling you? So I pray that this wisdom will get to somebody. But yeah, man, and stay away from people that have conniving spirits. You think it'll be all good because a person who act like the devil, have the angel of light, they'll be anything you want to be. They'll act like they're your boy if you're a guy, or your girl if you're a woman. But sooner or later, that you get when the blessings fall, it could be a financial blessing, it could be some kind of blessing, and you see you see a devil stirred up. They could be in your own family. Like I said, they could be someone you know. They could be your family, your neighborhood, your church, your school, your workplace, whatever. I just want to stress that. So, for all the people out there that think that people like us are slow and dumb and unaware, we're not dumb and unaware. We're quiet because God ministered to us. We're the chosen. Remember, just your hood, your street don't mean nothing. Your vernacular don't mean nothing. It's the experience of life. So remember that when you come across a nice person. And you better not mess with me. No, you better not mess with the good people. They said maybe they might not confront you, but see, God know how to get to you. And he protect those. Because there's a lot of bad people that got put on their back, and God had to put them on their back. Because they thought you ain't, and your arms is too short to box with God. That's the message I want to say. For the procrastinators, the narcissistic, the manipulating people, because you street, you hood, because you got it all, you know it all. It's so much quirky and goofy to you. You're quirky, and they may be slow. Maybe you're slow because they're quiet. See, one thing about good people, they eventually get their vengeance, and the people who do good people wrong come out on the worst end. So my advice to the people who want to manipulate and cut and craft good people, godly, righteous people, watch what you do, because whatever you do, it's going to come back on you in some form or fashion. You get away with one time, you may get away with another time, but sometimes God will even use the devil to bring you down. Remember that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hope you like this video. Like and subscribe. Just keep it some deep thought. And those good people out there, stay encouraged. Righteous people, stay righteous. Don't change. Give your heart to, and let God show you the ones who appreciate your love and appreciate your goodness, your kindness, your heart. There's people out there that do need you. Get away from the people that don't. Don't spoil them with your time. Don't waste your time. Because there's so much time. It's only but a moment. Okay, then. Take care, everybody. See you on the next video.